Hi there. My name is Alex Grant, and today I'm going to share with you a little meditation practice that you can do at home. So, a little bit about myself. I've been at a very young age, I got attracted to kind of travel, and I traveled a lot to India and up into the Himalayas and Burma, and I was introduced to yoga and meditation. This is probably about 25 years ago, and I found it was a something I was looking for that would help me, that helped me. And I didn't know at the time what I was looking for, but it was something that helped me kind of with my anxiety and with my kind of searching for something to calm myself on a somatic level. And yeah, I'm really thankful that over the years I was able to calm myself, self-soothe things that I didn't necessarily know how to do or was ever taught, you know, at a young age in school or through family or role models. There was no instruction on how to look after myself, when things happen, how to calm my mind down and how to calm my nervous system. So what I've learned in my time on the planet is that it's really important to have these skills because there's a lot going on at the moment. There's, a lot of things that we need to take care of. There's personal issues, there's family, there's work, there's time, there's all the news and politics and uh, digital lives and Facebook and Instagram. There's a lot that our bodies and our nervous systems and our minds need to deal with. And we need a way to deal with this and to self-soothe. And for me, I think meditation and a somatic based meditation practice where we actually can tune into our body and experience what's happening um, is what can bring us back from the incessant thoughts and preoccupations and craziness that we can find ourselves in the middle of. So we always have this. We always have our body. We always have our breath. We always have our interior awareness of what's going on in us to bring us back. So I'd really like to share with you a somatic based practice that we can use. What I found is through my traveling many years ago, these teachings were originally taught by the Buddha and by the rishis in the Himalayas in India 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. So these practices are really, really old and have been proven over millennia to be effective. And also, I'm finding, modern research on psychology and on trauma and on uh, mindfulness practices are using the exact same techniques. So these techniques are actually timeless and they're actually the same what was taught 3,000 years ago and what's being taught in hospitals and research centers and places that study the brain. I mean, these are the exact same practices. So these practices have, um, I'd like to say, traditional and modern um, backing. They're evidence based, but they're also historically based. So they're really powerful and they're kind of tools that we can use. There's not a lot of things we can search outward to calm ourselves. I mean, people try, there's many opportunities to try to calm themselves. There's alcohol, there's drugs, there's um, smoking. There's a lot of unhealthy. There's running, there's exercise. There's thousands of addictions that we can use to try to calm ourselves down. But ultimately, they're all searching for something outside. And these practices turn the mirror and reflect inside and give us something that we always have. And they're really effective, not only when something's going on, but also when we're calm. So we can develop a resilience that, can allow us to um, find our peace when things start to get a little bit rocky. So not only like wait till everything's, our lives are falling apart, should we then search for a practice and then turn to something, because a lot of times, people wait until it's all falling apart before they actually, you know, look for help. And there's an opportunity to practice resilience now when things are good, so that we have the reserves then to and the resources to then carry us through. So I'm gonna share a little practice um, that's very simple that anyone can do. It's basically just following the breath as it enters and exits through the nose. So everyone, I hope, has a nose. Mine's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. You might have noticed that already. But we all have a nose, and we can all close our eyes and focus the awareness on the area above the upper lip, below the nostrils. So when we breathe through the nose, the air comes in and out through the nose, right? And then that's going to create some temperature, some pressure, some sensation, very subtle. So by using this awareness of the breath entering and exiting the nostrils, we can focus the mind. And it's bringing us to our breath and to our physiology. So that's a very basic doorway into starting to meditate. Very simple. So we can do a little 5-minute practice now. So finding a comfortable seat. I'm sitting in a chair. If you're comfortable on the floor, that's fine. I wouldn't do this um, driving a car or walking down the street. This is a seated practice. I wouldn't do this lying down either, because there's a tendency to fall asleep. So just take a moment to center yourself, and then we'll all close our eyes and just notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Inhale and exhale. Just notice. Notice the inhalation above the upper lip, and slowly exhale. Inhale through the nostrils, noticing sensation. And exhale through the nostrils. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So we'll continue in silence for another few minutes, inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling, noticing the touch of the breath, noticing the transition between the in-breath and the out-breath, and between the out-breath and the in-breath. Little pause in that shift. The mind begins to wander, just slowly bring it back to the breath. Very simple. See if you can notice just a little touch, just a little pressure, any matter. Taking another 3 exhalations through the nostrils. And bringing the breath back to normal. We'll just conclude the practice just noticing how you feel. Noticing if there's been any shift in the body. Maybe focus, see if you can notice the area in the forehead, between the eyebrows, just noticing there if there's maybe some calmness. Just noticing, and then very slowly you can open the eyes, coming back. We have that awareness of the inside. And now look around the space, turn your head. Just notice what's in the space. Look what's there, grounding us into the environment. So this is a very powerful practice. Bring us into the moment. Yeah, even just moving the neck is very effective. Just really move the neck and the head and just look around, see if you can notice maybe naming them to yourself or even out loud. See an easel, some paint, some floor, brown. Notice colors, textures. This is a very powerful practice to ground us into the environment. So we ground us into the body. So from a nervous system awareness, and then also into the space. So this is very powerful to take us away from the mind. And sometimes when we get triggered or something happens, we get lost. Our nervous systems get activated, right? We get into fight or flight. We want to run, it's too much. And that's when maybe we have addictive tendencies to like have a drink or take a Valium or go to the gym or call someone, whatever it is. When our nervous systems get activated, we get into fight or flight and we have reactions to this. And why this happens is complicated. There could be traumas in the past, many reasons, but it doesn't really matter what the reasons are, or if someone, a family member, a friend, or a lover says something to us and we react, and then we might explode at them. But what's actually happening within our somatic system is that we're getting activated. Our sympathetic nervous system is thinking that it's dangerous, right? There's a tiger, there's something going to attack us. This person's not safe. I don't feel safe. So this is what happens. We don't feel safe. So by realizing that this is happening, instead of sending a text or yelling or screaming or running, we can just say, hey, wait a second, I'm activated. Like, it's intense. I have tools. I can actually affect this. I can breathe. I can slow down. I can look around. I can go for a walk. I have resources to do these things. Meditation is a great resource to maintain a relaxed state over time and also to calm us down because we come into the body, we feel safe. When we get triggered, fight or flight, we don't feel safe. That's what our bodies do. We're animals. We're built and we developed over many years to feel safe. So when something happens, we don't feel safe. Our bodies react. Now I'm going to talk about pranayama. So pranayama, if we look at it, comes from the ancient yogic practice of breath control. So prana in Indian and in yogic philosophy Prana is the life force. So we can feel prana, we can feel energy in our bodies. When we exercise or if we ever tune in, we can feel electricity in our body. Let me just change this a little bit. So this is the same as in Chinese philosophy of qi. So qi is life force, it's energy. Western thought and medicine doesn't really have this concept, but if we think of prana as like the life force that's animating us, pranayama means to access it and to control it and to use it. So the way that we practice pranayama is through the breath. So in yoga, I don't know, maybe you guys have heard of pranayama, but it's basically a practice of accessing and affecting the breath. Now, the breath is interesting because we breathe, right? We all breathe constantly. Um, it's subconscious. It doesn't. We don't think about it. So we've got it's linked to our unconscious. It will breathe at night. We'll breathe while we're sleeping. We're breathing right now. We're not thinking about it. So it's linked to our all our practices of subconscious that we're not aware of. But we can breathe consciously, right? We can use our will and affect our breath. So it's also we have the conscious awareness. So there's not a lot of things um, that in our physiology and our bodies that are both linked consciously and unconsciously. Dreams you can't really access consciously, right? And our subconscious we can't access consciously. So our breath is very powerful for a number of reasons. One is the link between the unconscious and the conscious. The other is that has very strong effect on our nervous systems directly, like our breaths. Um, Long breaths regulate the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic, the rest and digest. By breathing slowly, especially the exhalation, we can calm the nervous system down. That's why, people are having they freak out. They're like breathing, their breath is very shallow. People say just take a few slow breaths, right? Just take a few slow breaths. So by bringing consciousness and lengthening the breath, we can directly, physically calm down the nervous system. Let's try it. Let's everyone exhale fully. Inhale through the nose and slowly exhale. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. And then natural breath. Just notice, how do you feel? So just by taking 5 slow breaths, we can change the way we feel. You know, 30 seconds. So very powerful practice. Again, like meditation, if we do it consistently and in a regular practice, then we can have a resource that'll regulate our nervous system to help us be resilient through times of change or through everything that happens. We don't have to be like a boat on the ocean, at the whims of the sea, of this whims of life, because life is always going to give us things that are going to rock us. So by having these internal practices and by having resources, we have some resilience so that we can hopefully thrive in our life in the coming, years as things get more intense with the environment and everything that's happening. It's really important that we have things that we can rely on because really we can't, everything else is external, is changeable. Relationships, jobs, friends, families, like everything else is very, we have no control over. I mean, we don't have control over our bodies, but what we have here is probably the most we have control over. So it's very important that we know how to nourish the body. and not just in a physical fitness way, but in a nervous system and emotional, energetic way as well. Because we can go to the gym and we can do lots of stairmaster, and it's great. It keeps us healthy, but it's still we're still not. It's not helping us really exist in the world. So now I'm going to do another pranayama practice. So this is like we just did, the deep breathing, but we're going to use alternate nostril breaths. So basically the left nostril connects to the right side of the brain and the right nostril connects to the left side of the brain. So by alternating which nostril we're breathing through, we can balance the hemispheres of the brain, which can help calm our mind down and to help get us more balanced, because when we get unbalanced is when we're susceptible of um, having breakdowns and being stressed. So very simple practice. Just take I use my right hand and fold in the middle three fingers, which is the thumb and the pinky. So the thumb goes over the right nostril. Pinky, you can actually use the two little fingers. Pinky's little second little finger goes on the left nostril. So we'll inhale through the left, cover the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, exhale left. So that's basically the practice. So I'll lead that. We'll do it for about 5 minutes, and then we'll notice the effects. Okay? Everyone close your eyes. Cover up your right nostril with your thumb. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Continuing on your own, inhaling right. And exhale. And one more exhalation through the left. And hands in the lap. And breathe normally. And now noticing the effects of the practice. Just noticing how the mind feels. And slowly opening your eyes. And coming back into the space. And again, slowly looking around. Moving your head. Keep breathing naturally. Just noticing the natural breath. So again, a very simple practice, a very powerful practice to balance the mind. You can do 5 minutes of this alternate nostril breathing anytime, right? You can do it when you wake up or before coffee. Like, there's a lot of opportunities to do these practices. They don't have to take long or be big commitments, but they have a very profound effect on the nervous system and help us, stay resilient. So these are all seated practices, right? These are all calm, quiet practices that are helping us kind of come back to a centered place, or to help us build resilience and help us stay centered, or to give us a little bit of inner awareness. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about moving practices. So we all know, there's lots. There's yoga, there's dance, there's Pilates, there's jogging. There's all these things we do to move our bodies, right? There's something that we can really do that's really powerful, and that's shaking. That's shaking our body. So that's moving our nervous system. This is what animals do. Like, if you look at a deer or another animal when they've been, in a skirmish or a fight, or they've been attacked, or a dog even, they'll go and they'll shake, right? That's the way that the nervous system can rid itself of a traumatic experience. So we can do this as well. If we're feeling like we have a lot of stuff built up, we can do a shaking practice, which is fun. So today we're going to do a little shaking practice. So I've made a little soundtrack to go along. We're just going to do that. So it's maybe like a 10-15 minute practice that you can do to move the body. So you can do this when you wake up, anytime. So you'll need to create a little space wherever you are. Maybe put some headphones on. I'll put some music to it. And we'll just shake. So make yourself go crazy. Like, don't worry about looking funny. No one's looking. Shaking. So you can find a place to shake, and I'll show you. Just listen to the music. You can hear the music starting to come up. Shaking the arms, hands, the fingers, head, hips. Yeah. Breathing, close the eyes, really let it out. Feel the shoulders moving. Make some sound. Open the jaw. Let the body shake. No one can see you, don't be shy. Hands and arms, make some sound, yeah. moving. Moving the feet. You feel your whole body vibrating. Let go of anything that you don't want to carry. Keep shaking. Keep shaking. Keep moving. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Let it out. Energy gets stuck in our bodies. We need to move it. Like wild animals. Make some sound. Game one. Breathing deep. body in this good shape, huh? Ah. See how the body feels. Breathing. Ah. Closing the eyes. Coming to stillness. Breathing slowly. Eyes closed. Just noticing the effect on the body. Feel your energy, feel your prana. Very powerful practice. Keep breathing. And opening the eyes. That's shaking medicine. So that's another practice we can do. We have these practices we can do to awaken the body and the nervous system. So that's, sometimes even, we can use that when we wake up. We can use that when we feel stressed, something's going on, we can shake. So we can use this, activate the body. Really powerful. So we've learned some tools today. We've learned how the nervous system works, how we get, activated when things happen in our life, when we get triggered, when someone says something, our bodies react, our nervous systems react, and we have tools that we can use instead of, reacting outwardly to someone or something, or, um, having, getting depressed and making it all about this person, what they did to me. I have tools to resource and to self-soothe and to be my own, um, doctor in a way, to regulate myself. So these are very ancient and modern practices that we can do. One is meditation, just focusing on the breath, going in and out of the nostrils. It's a very ancient and powerful practice that we can do. One is just breathing slowly, deeply through the nose. Again, focusing the mind. We learned alternate nostril breathing. We can do that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whenever we need to calm our minds, or we can do physical practices. I mean, most people know yoga, these sorts of Tai Chi and these sort of things, but shaking is also something that many people don't know. That's a very quick and rapid way to discharge energy in the body and to allow the body to come back to homeostasis and relaxation. So these are just a few practices that I'd like to share that I found to be helpful in my life. Um, yeah, and I hope that you get some benefit too, and that you've enjoyed this time. Thank you very much. And if you'd like to get in contact or find out more, you can email me. My email address is alex, Alex, at findyoga.com.au. That's FIND as in David, YOGA as in yoga.com.au. So you can email me. I'm always around. Thanks.